there's power in taking a photograph. There's power in being an artist.
It's the Phoenix Film Revival Podcast.
All right, we're back again with another episode. It's been a while. The Phoenix Film Revival Podcast is back.
It's back.
Finally.
I know. Sorry. It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Been a while.
But
Sorry. Can you hear me?
yeah,
Okay. I'm whispering. I don't know why. I forgot how to podcast.
it's been a minute. I think the last time we recorded was back in October.
Yeah. And then we held on to it for a long time and then we finally got it out. I feel bad that we waited on it so long. Poor Nate and Lucinda. They were like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, where's our episode?
Sat on that.
I think it was
podcast.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Even. I think they came on a Halloween.
Yeah,
But
and it is another holiday. It's Easter today.
it is Easter now. So we missed quite a bit of time.
420.
It is 420. We don't really celebrate. Our neighbors celebrate for us though. So
Oh yeah, definitely.
we're getting a little extra over here. So-
Oh yes,
but sorry we went away for so long, but that's how it goes. We have
got-
very busy lives. There's two of us, and as we've said before on the podcast, we run the lab, we have full-time jobs, we have, life, general
Yep.
speaking, stuff that goes on. So we kind of do
We're
the
busy
podcast
baddies.
as we possibly can, but we're really hoping to get moving again in a big way. Dan got some new podcast recording equipment, and
Yeah.
I'm a little scared because it's got some
it's pretty great.
I don't know, it's got some
no.
it's got some sound effects. And we should all be worried about that, I think. But according to Dan, this will
Yes.
improve the podcast significantly. So anyone
Yeah.
listening, you're going to have a better experience now.
I would hope so.
Guaranteed from Dan, because he said he'd be paying less attention to the deck and more attention to the talking and the conversation.
It's true. It's
So-
true. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh God, it's gonna be all the whole time, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyways,
We got to separate him from the deck.
yes.
But anyway, thank you for coming back to us and listening to us. Sorry about our weird schedules and how we work, but I would say that's going to get better. But knowing us, it probably won't.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it'll be much easier. The deck that I got makes it just easier to set up, break down, record, push it off onto, and publish the podcasts a little quicker now. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. Less editing on my end and quicker to get these episodes out. So, and another cool thing with the deck that we got is that it has a cell phone function. It's a Bluetooth function. So we can actually connect and record with somebody remotely without a bunch of weird stuff connected.
Yeah, that's
So-
always fun. It's always kind of a hassle to get
Oh yeah.
a recording of somebody because we want to see them and record them properly and sending them a recorder and everything. It's it's a whole thing. So hopefully that'll help. We do have guests line up. We do have a list of people that we have on our podcast list. Some of them been cooling their heels waiting for us.
Yep.
Very patiently, which is really nice of them. This one we're just going to do a catch up, just kind of let you guys know what we've been up to. If you don't care what we've been up to, you can skip this. It's okay.
We got cool stuff
It's
going on.
fine. It's fine. You don't have to care about us.
Stacy and I will say, I'll jump right in here because
Yeah.
I'm excited about this. We actually both participated in a show recently.
We did, which never happens. It's
And
always
that's been huge
Yeah.
for both of us to be able to take some time away and put a piece in. So I was excited to actually show something. I don't think I've shown
anything.
any of my work since I started the lab.
Nope.
So yeah, it's been a minute. Stacy's been going at it though. So
Yeah, I've been busy. I got a whole bunch of stuff that I've been doing, but
Yeah.
it was nice to have you actually have a piece in the
Yeah.
thing. You had the Ocotillo power plant,
yeah,
which is like bright orange. It doesn't exist anymore, but
nope.
it was up on a wall, an actual finished piece by Dan.
I know.
Very impressive.
It's crazy. A picture I took back in 2015, which was before I got involved with the lab. So I've been wanting to print that picture for quite a while now and finally got around to it. And really nice metal print. But Stacy did one as well with one of her
did.
Mortensage pieces.
Yup.
And
Indeed, which I've been going down a whole Mortensage hole recently. I have a whole bunch of things that I've been doing on that. I guess we should sort of back up to, I guess like catch up from October, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So
Sorry,
kind of
fast
go
forward.
from there. Yeah. Like, so let's see. So October 31st, we recorded with Nate and Lucinda, and then we really haven't done anything since. So that's been many months.
Yep.
We had the Grand Avenue Festival that happened.
We did.
That was the beginning of November. That festival happens every single year. Thank you to everybody that came out to that, because we saw a lot of faces,
Yep.
which was awesome. We also had the release party for the book.
The zine release. Yeah.
Zine
Wow,
release.
that was a while ago.
It was.
Yeah.
The zine release. We haven't got a chance to talk about that. That was kind of impressive. We ended up with, how many photographers
We
did we
had
have?
109 photographers
Yeah.
from 3 different countries. We had Canada and Lithuania in there as well as the US, and 242 images.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
So
a nice
was-
hardbound book. We still actually have a few little copies left. Not many.
Yeah, we got
Like
10 copies left.
Yeah, we have a handful. So if you want to get an extra one, we're not gonna make any more. That'll
Nope.
be it.
It's
Once
a
they're gone, they're
limited
gone.
edition of 150 total copies. So
Yep.
we have about 10 copies left. If you're interested, reach out to us, let us know. And I believe there's a link somewhere. fpzine.com. There's a link on there to purchase.
Yeah. You can always go to our Instagram too and just message us and throw us a bone, and we'll be like, hey, we'll get you one.
Yep.
But yeah, that was great to see so many people, and it was great to see that zine come together with like, it was weird when it first came in because we didn't have any kind of theme or anything. It was just like whatever you want to send. And it
Yeah.
became a real hodgepodge of like casual shots. It was just like people like obviously on like vacation, just shooting family. And then there was other ones that were more set up and studio like. It was just, it ran like all the way from both ends, which was kind of interesting. And as they were coming in, I was so curious, like, what's this going to look like together? Like, because there's no real theme here. And it's
Yeah.
interesting how it really kind of worked out. And I think because there was so many photos in it is why it worked out. Because you really just got this feel of like, this is what's important to this person.
Yeah.
This is what, it's not necessarily, oh, I'm trying to make an artistic statement here. It's the photo that they're like, that's the photo I'd like to see in a book. That's the photo that makes me happy. So we saw a lot of like, there's a lot of dogs in there, and there was like kids in there. There was even some like hospital photos I think we saw
Yeah.
in there. It was a really interesting mix.
Definitely an interesting mix with all the different types. And at first, like, I was kind of like, okay, you're submitting this to the zine, cool. But then as more and more submissions came in, it really started to solidify what the book was. And it ended up being hardbound. So that was the intent from the get-go, but I wasn't sure with how many submissions we would get, whether or not we'd be able to achieve that. But it worked out. Fortunately, I didn't go negative on
We broke
the
even,
zines.
but
So we broke even with the zines, which
thank goodness for that.
yeah, definitely didn't want to go in the negative. It wasn't an intent to make a profit off of the books, but it was exciting to do the whole project. So
Yeah.
I think to be safe in this next one that we do, we'll end up going with a paper bound, which I think the inaugural one was
Everybody,
necessary.
everybody in it, and then
Needed
we're
to be
going to work
hardbound.
out some. We kind of have to work the dates out backward, but right now we're working with Andrew over at Brill Gallery.
Yep.
So what we're going to do is we're going to have the release party over there, but we're also going to have a gallery show over there with some of the people that are in the zine, which is
Yep.
super exciting. So we kind of have to work with Andrew and figure out exactly what month that's going to be. And then we'll kind of work our way backward. So it's going to give everybody enough time to get a photo together.
Yep.
I think we might be limiting it to possibly just a photo. And we may or may not have a theme involved this year. But we're going to have some sort of jurying process that, to get the people up on the walls.
Yeah.
So it'll be a limited amount of people, but a great opportunity for some folks to put out their best work and literally be shown at a real gallery, like
Yep.
an actual gallery, which is a big deal. So if you've never got to do that before, it's a really fun time. I finally had that happen to me recently, and it was super exciting with my solo show.
Yep.
And just to see it and be like, oh, wow, I actually get to present this work to like a lot of people.
Yep.
And it's super exciting. So I'm really, really excited to be able to help the community with that, because
Yeah.
there's so many of you out there that are such good photographers, and I'm really excited to see, with given enough time for something like this, what's going to come from it. So we'll have details out plenty of time before that. The actual gallery thing, don't expect that until end of year, maybe even beginning of next year. It's going to be sometime in the winter.
Yeah.
But we'll give people lots and lots of time, because it takes a while, Dan. It takes Dan like hundreds of hours to
Well,
like,
this
do.
last one this last zine that we put together, we ended up landing with a simple layout with the title on the bottom left and the name on the bottom right, and used a script font to lay them out. Everything was centered in the book. We did an 8x8 layout for everyone, and it was a single image per page with some additional quotes throughout the book from different photographers, and it worked out really well.
Yeah. Who was the print company that we used?
So we went through Mixam,
Mixam,
and
that's
first time working with that company, but first time spending that much money to giving that much money to one company rather.
Yeah, Dan
and
had a moment. I heard him in the other room when I knew the order was
Yeah.
happening, because I heard these weird moans coming out from him. He was going,
yeah, dropping $4,000 to get books done for the community was like was a lot of stress.
You should all be proud of him though, because there was a moment there where he's like, we should go to the casino and put this
Yep.
on black,
Yep.
and then we can like make the book, and
Or we just run away.
and we run away. We run away from home, and nobody ever sees us again.
Where'd they go? But we did the right thing.
We did the right thing.
Yeah, it would have been bad. It would have been
Oh no! Oh no!
had to use the button.
It absolutely would have been a no.
But no, it turned out great. The zine was phenomenal. A lot of people gave kudos to us for putting it together, and kudos to the community for actually jumping in and participating.
Yeah.
So
Great
thank
feedback.
you
Yeah.
guys. And if you didn't get a chance to submit to that one, you'll have an opportunity here pretty soon. So
Yep. The second one, we're hoping to make it an annual thing.
Yep.
So, and then Brill, when we have it over there with Brill, Andrew's been wanting to do that for a while with us.
Yep.
He has a beautiful space. So if you ever go follow Brill Gallery and Studio and check out his space, it's where he lives is in the Garfield district, and he created a gallery off the side of his house, and then he has a gorgeous backyard too. So we'll be able to have plenty of space, which I know it's always a little bit of a tough squeeze in our spot, but he's got plenty of room and he can fit everybody in there.
yeah,
So, because I know last time with the release party, we were packed in that backyard when everybody came out. That was
it was
a lot of fun, but
was-
we were packed.
crazy. We decided to do our photo booth, which we were kind of up in the air about, but we did the photo booth, and I shot portraits in the backyard and made some additional funds to kind of pay off the expense of doing the event. So
Yeah, and just all the goodies and
Yeah.
stuff, and all the drinks and all that stuff that costs money.
Yep.
But that was
So-
a lot of fun though. It was like, even though it was so crowded, it's still a lot of fun to have that many people in the backyard. And we put it on the back end of the Grand Avenue Festival. So I think there was some non-zine people that were also
Oh,
in the
yeah.
backyard too. There was just general public. So we had like hundreds and hundreds, like probably thousands of people come through the lab that day.
yeah,
Just from the street, because that event's getting busier and busier. Next year for Grand Avenue Festival, which will happen sometime there at the beginning of November, we'll be open again for that, and I'm sure it's going to be even busier. They changed their marketing, and they're actually marketing that thing like now, like versus like in the
Yeah.
past where they were, maybe a month ahead, but now they're like full core, like getting into it and making sure it's really good, and
yeah.
shutting down the street was really important for that event.
More than likely, they typically do that event in November,
Yeah.
and more than likely, it's going to be November 8th.
Yeah,
So-
it's almost always like that first week.
Yeah.
That
so
Saturday.
we'll see. We'll see how things pan out with the new team that's handling the Grand Ave Festival. So
Yeah, so far so good. We met actually one of the girls came in and took
one of our workshops.
type workshop. Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's like all over it, and I was like, oh, finally, like, somebody's like really doing it well. Like I get it, because everybody that's doing it, it's all voluntary stuff. It's not like there's a company out there that's like putting together the Grand Avenue Festival. It's literally like people volunteering their time and effort to do so, to like make something happen down there, and it's a lot
Yeah.
of work. I know like Hawk, he's put in like a ton of work this last one, and that's just he just wants it to be a good event for everybody down there. So
Yep.
yeah, it's super fun. So we're looking forward to that. And then we were saying about Brill. I had my show that was in.
Yep. Stacy did a show.
When was that? What month was that? November? I don't even remember now. Where I had my Vacant Vision show.
I think it was right before Grand Ave Festival.
Was it before?
Yeah.
No, I think it was after. I feel
Was
like
it
it was after
December?
Yeah. It was. Oh, time. I don't know. I don't know. But that was exciting. I had my solo show there, and it was up for a month. And then for the opening, there was a lot of people there. I didn't get an exact count, but a lot of people showed up, which I was super, super grateful for. I appreciate that from everybody.
Yep.
It's a little nerve-wracking. You have like a solo show and you're like, oh my God, what if no one comes? That's embarrassing.
Yes. Stacy did a project on Mortensage and a lot of the old buildings that reside in downtown Phoenix, Mesa, Peoria. And we cruised around and I chaperoned.
You did. You helped a little bit on that one.
Protected Stacy from getting mugged.
Yeah. Well, some of the spots that we went to weren't the nicest. It was a lot of, it was also like right in the middle of summer when I shot that entire show.
Yeah. It's brutal.
Yeah, it was a lot of like, go here, jump out of the car, jump back into the car, roasting to death kind of thing. But managed to get it all together and had all the pieces up. And I even had pieces over at Gallo Blanco, which was cool. Like Andrew has a little bit of a connection with them. So now he can, when he does a show at his gallery, he can also do a show over there as well, like a smaller version.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, that's really cool. And then, hopefully we get to do that with ours too and get some people in Gallo Blanco. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. But yeah, we did a video that was super fun in conjunction. You can still see it. It's on my website. So if you go to cyanotyped.com and you go to my projects page, I have the Vacant Visions projects there. And then you can see the photos from it and the descriptions of the photos, because all the buildings that I took pictures of are all vacant buildings that have been vacant for quite a while. And I give a little background of what you're looking at and what it is and a little bit of history. It's all sort of an examination of, the development here in Phoenix and the non-development here in Phoenix and a lot of the buildings that sit and just kind of rot away. Yeah. But the video was super fun, and the video is up. It's on YouTube as well. I think on our Phoenix Film Revival page, I think is where we put that.
Yeah, on our YouTube. Yeah. That was fun to record. So
that became a thing. I wasn't expecting. So Andrew had asked, because I'm doing Mortensage, and a lot of you listening now are like, what the hell's Mortensage? So it's a chemical process and it's very analog. So you do a regular analog darkroom print, but then Mortensage is this thing where you basically destroy a print and then you get this veiling effect that happens on the prints. So I did that process, and it's it is a dangerous process. So even in the lab, I have to take precautions in the lab, and I have to make sure I'm, clothed right, and I've got a gas mask on and all that good stuff, because it'll deep fry your lungs basically. But Andrew had asked, maybe you can do some sort of demonstration, because no one knows what that is at the show. And I'm like, well, that ain't gonna work. So I was like, we can do a video. And I was thinking I'll take some cell phone video while I'm working on this thing. But Dan was like, nope. I think it might have been an excuse to get a digital camera with a new lens.
Well, I think I already had the digital camera.
You did.
There was a new lens that I was like, ooh, this would be great.
Yes.
That lens is really nice.
It is a very nice lens. I
it's
gotta
like
say,
a 60-minute video.
The video,
interview. that sort of deliciousness.
It did. It looked good. It looked really good. My video ended up being 20-ish minutes. And it ended up being pretty long. It has a little bit of a Breaking Bad kind of theme to it. So if you want to watch it, it's pretty funny. So I wrote it out, and then Dan's like, we're going to do everything, and we're going to do it right, and we're going to do it long. I'm like, holy shit, this is way bigger than I thought it would be.
So he's just like, okay, let's just do the next shot. And I'm like, no, we got to record that one again, because you didn't do it right. Again, but better.
Dan was a hell of a director.
Yeah. But Stacey did a good job, and started getting the hang of it.
Yes, my acting ability. Jesus. I was like, am I not allowed to be myself?
It's a very different world to record video and go down that route. And some of my high school elective classes, my media communications classes, kind of paid off with that. So it was fun. It was a project more for me than than anything else. But
Yeah, a little bit.
video turned out great. We got to use
did.
the audio. It's on YouTube. Probably has like maybe 100 views.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
Yeah.
not many. We got like a lot more
We're
views
lucky.
the night of at the show because it was at the show that we put it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we had audio problems at the show and you couldn't hear it because we had like the wrong speakers and we didn't have them sitting right.
I think, well, when we plugged them in the second time, they were
the
much
closing,
louder.
The closing, it was fine. But then again, we raised them up and put them out farther. There was way less people there at the closing
but
too, which was kind of a shame.
I think we just didn't have them set up right the
So
first time.
I think anyone that came my opening maybe didn't hear most of it.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
But it's online, so you can
But
watch
it is
online.
online. Yep. And then I ended up having that kind of rolled into, I got to be on PBS on radio.
Yep.
Which is pretty crazy.
So you went on NPR.
I was on NPR on the show. Yeah. Sam Dingman, he like interviewed me and it was about, they called it it was mostly talking about like, Phoenix and the buildings more so than the art. The girl that does the, like, finding like people to talk to, things like that. She came out to the opening.
Yeah.
And she wanted to see the show. So that was exciting. It was kind of funny because the interview happened after the show came down. It's like nobody can go see it.
Yeah.
But then it kind of lucked out because our friend who curates Songbird Cafe was like, hey, I had someone fall through or whatever, and I really need, a show up. Do you have anything
guess
ready?
what?
I was like, well, the timing is very good for you because so literally it came down and went right back up, and it's still up. Actually, it's still up at Songbird Cafe. Most of it. There's a couple pieces that aren't. We put the larger piece that's actually above our bed, and then the other piece we have. It's in another show. So I have another show at the. And I'm a little confused on the building. Portland on the Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have it's a residential building. It's like kind of behind, it's the big building. If you ever go to the gardens in Phoenix, the Japanese garden.
Yeah.
So it's the big building that you see like, right to the right there when you're in the gardens. And they have a lobby and they do every 4 months, they change out artwork in there. So I applied to that. And one of the pieces that I had from the show is now in there as well. I think anyone can go. I think anyone can go to the lobby because it's all within the lobby of the building. So you're allowed in there. You just can't get up into, the actual proper building into the residence or anything. So that'll be there. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
I said, as long as I don't have to store it, it's great. I'm going to keep it going.
Yep.
Keep moving around.
So I told Stacy, I'm like, you're not allowed to bring these home. They got to keep existing out there.
I know. Just keep getting them around.
Somebody's got to buy them.
Yeah. So far, so good. I'm like, getting them out there.
Yeah.
But
in connection with the show that you did, we also did another zine for your show.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that was, that actually turned out really well.
Mhm.
So we produced another zine as well for that.
I still have
and-
some copies of that too.
Yep.
That are available.
So
We
that
paid
went
for
really
it
well.
though, thank God.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's enough. Like there's some left over. So we have these all in the lab too. So if you ever come in through the lab, people can pick them up. That's how I've been selling them. People come in and pick them up at the lab, which is great.
Yeah.
It gives you a little bit of, Phoenix history and some buildings that God knows if they're going to still be there in 10 years, probably.
Yeah. It's like, what,
Yeah.
60 pages or something like that?
Yeah, the book included images that weren't just in the show. So the show I had, I want to say 15 total, including the ones that were over at
13.
was it 13?
Mhm.
13 over at the cafe. There was 3 over there and then 10 in the show. And then the I included the ones that didn't kind of make the cut for the larger prints that I made because I made Chromolux prints, which is like a really cool like dye sublimation onto metal printing process, which is really cool. And it really helps with the Morton Touch because I was able to make them all very large and you could really
Yeah.
see the detail into them, which was really super cool. But the book itself, it gives you a little bit more of the behind the scenes kind of stuff too. There's some behind
Yeah.
the scenes things in there. So that was cool to make. I was excited. That's the first scene I've ever made.
Yep.
Got a lot of firsts this year. I got a piece in a gallery in New York City, which
Yep.
I tell you what, young me, like 16-year-old Stacy was like peeing her pants. Super excited about it. I was really, really pleased because like that was
Yeah.
always my dream. It's like, oh, I would love to be an artist. Oh, I want to be an artist in New York City. And like, how cool would that be to be in like a gallery in New York? So it was sort of like one of those moments where like, holy shit, I'm in a gallery in New York. But I had my pinhole photo, one of the pinhole photos that I had taken with Mr. Potato Head, my pinhole camera with that. And it was of Jeff, our studio mate, and he's wearing a mask, and it's like this one where you can see like a really ominous shadow of Mr. Potato Head in the photo.
Yeah.
So I called that shadow play, but I got into the and it was super exciting too because it was the Soho Photo Gallery crappy camera competition, which if you know anything about like, you know, what that is, it's hard to get into it, and it's a lot of people apply to that thing.
Yeah.
So I got in, I was like, no way. Super exciting. We were the last show in the space that they're currently in. They've moved around a little bit. It's Soho. It's not in Soho. They actually were in Tribeca, and now they moved to Chelsea. So is it Chelsea? I think so. They just moved. So we were the last one in the old space to have that show, but I went out. I had to fly out. So Dan's
Yeah. I was like, what the
really,
heck?
really going? He couldn't go. He didn't have any vacation time.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to go. I was like in and out though. I was there literally for the show and back out.
She did bring me bagels.
I did. I put bagels on my suitcase for Dan, and I went over to Brooklyn and I got him some, were those candies? I got you, not candies.
Marzipan.
I got you marzipan. And apparently marzipan peaches look exactly like grenades to the TSA because they were very upset about that, and I had to go all the way through all of Dan's lovely treats.
They
so.
swabbed all my.
Yeah, last time I get you marzipan peaches.
It was a good.
The bagels didn't seem to set anything off though, but everything in my entire like suitcase smelled exactly like a bagel. So I'm going to New York soon again, and Dan's like, make sure to get the bagels. Yep. So I got to load up on that. But that was super fun, and I got to meet a lot of really, really cool people, like some people I follow online and people that I just was like, oh wow, I'm meeting you in real life. This is super exciting.
You rubbed elbows with was it Apple Records CEO?
Yeah, he was there.
Literally rubbed elbows.
Yeah, I accidentally kind of elbowed him, and then someone told me who he was, and I was like, what? Like, okay. Yeah, I mean, it was really exciting. There was some really cool people there. I got to meet Lisa. Lisa, I finally got to meet you in person. You're very short. I knew you were tiny, but when I met you, I was like, oh my gosh, you're like a tiny person. But she's from Boston, and we kind of had no friends through Dave. So our friend Dave, who's been on the podcast, Tabor, Dumpster Flower online. Dave and Lisa have a project, Alchemy of the Unknowns, where they shoot the roll of film, but then they send it to the other person, and the other person doesn't know what they shot, and they shoot over it, which is, you know, something you can do on Holga very easily. And they keep getting like really interesting photos from that. So they just sort of been doing a project. So through Dave, I've met Lisa online, but it was nice to be able to meet Lisa actually in person, which was really cool. Yeah, it's always nice to like actually meet people in real life. So
and she ended up snagging your print.
She did. I did. Like, I got told that Dave told me that someone bought it. And I was like, what? Someone bought it? And then I didn't, like, the gallery never told me. And I was like, okay, I guess that's true. He's like, I'm like, well, who told you? Because he wasn't there. And he said, Lisa told me. And I was like, oh. And then I got in touch with Lisa, and I asked Lisa, and she's like, yeah, I did. And I was like, oh, okay. But she didn't tell me it was her, which is really funny. It wasn't until I got the invoice from the gallery to get the check that her name was on it. And I'm like, Lisa, you could have told me. But Lisa, you're now like one of my biggest collectors. You have a couple of my pieces, which is funny. Yep. She even I had sent her a piece that I had made a while before that. I don't remember when, but I had a print and that I sent to her, and I didn't sign it, and she was like upset that I didn't sign it, and she brought it all the way from Boston. She even put it like in a really nice like art sleeve, you know, to keep it safe. She's like, you're signing it, so I had to sign it at the show, which was really cute of her to have me sign. My brain, I don't think about those things.
Nope.
No, but I got to sign it, which was kind of funny. So that was super exciting. That was a real moment for me there when I got to go to New York and see my piece in a gallery in New York. So super exciting about that.
I was okay with it because I got bagels.
He was okay because he got bagels.
That's all I wanted.
So I've just been sort of putting my stuff out there recently. That's what I've been kind of up to, because like I've been, I've been making work for a while, and I sort of keep it to myself, generally speaking. But I was like, you know what? Why don't I put myself out there, and I'll just start applying for some stuff and poking around, and it seems to be working out okay. I have a piece in Vermont right now. It's not up, I don't think, yet. It goes up in May. It's the beginning of May at the Photo Place Gallery in Vermont. I forget which.
What piece did you have in Vermont?
It's the Ruins and Remnants show. And then I have a Morton Sage building from Globe. Is it Globe? Yeah, that has sail on the side of the
Oh,
building.
that one.
The last sail is what
Oh, that's
I
a good
called
one.
it. Yeah, so that's up there for because I was like, oh, ruins and remnants. That's exactly my speed. That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's a lot of my photos. So I have that up in Vermont. So technically speaking, I have stuff up in 4 places right now, which is kind of crazy. I'm losing track of like where everything is, but I'm gonna still keep going. I have a project that I'm working on currently that I'm going to start. I actually need to recruit people to be in it. So keep an eye on my Instagram, and then maybe we'll put something on Phoenix Storm Revival too. Where I actually need people. I need some volunteers to help and be basically models for it, but I'll kind of release that soon. And
Yeah.
I want to get started and do that through the summer, and then hopefully have a gallery show or a book or something in conjunction with it. I'd love to do something with it. I'm really excited about the project. So
You're on your own on that one.
Damn.
I'm doing my own thing.
I don't need any audio video, so I'm
Yep.
pretty good. I'm not
I'm
going
off
to
the hook.
No, it's all going to be all photography. It's not going to be in Mortensage. I've been on a big Mortensage kick and I'm having a lot of fun with it, but this one's going to be straight photography. It's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be black and white prints, and actually going to do some color too with the project, which is definitely not my jam. I don't normally do a lot of color, so I have to start thinking differently, I guess. I mean, they're going to be post photos, so it's not like it's going to be like, I got to like work it out the color. It's going to be what it is, but still, that's going to be interesting because I never do color. But yeah, I'm super excited about it. And then what else happened between now and then? We got in the New Times.
Yeah, we got New Times. That was pretty cool.
It's an article, which was weird because the guy that interviewed us like a year.
It was like 2 years ago.
2 years. It was a while ago.
It's like summer,
and it kind of came out back
year.
out of the nowhere. Like the editor got in touch. So, oh yeah, we still want to do that. I'm like,
It was
oh,
during
wow.
Grand Ave Fest.
Yeah, she
They
came
came
up
through.
to us, and I was like, oh wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So we got to do that, and it was kind of fun because our pictures in it. And then remember, we went everywhere to find the New Times. It's like you think you see those everywhere in Phoenix, the boxes.
Yeah.
And then when you're going to try to find one, you can't freaking find one anywhere. We finally found one, which was good. We were driving literally all over the place that morning trying to find them.
Yep.
And we got a couple of the copies. We have one up in the lab too. It's called you can find it online if you just look up our names and look up on
And
New
New
Times.
Times.
Yeah, it's called Freeze Frame.
Yeah.
Talked about the lab, giving classes and stuff like that, as I recall. So that was super fun to be in the New Times together.
Yep.
And then what else did we have happen?
I had to go to Missouri.
Oh, that was not a great trip though.
That was not fun.
Damn.
PSA for colon cancer. Make sure you get checked.
Yep.
Because, yeah, my dad was dealing with it and very close to not making it. So I had to fly out there and check in with him and do what I could to assist him and my mom with going through the hospital and everything. So it was a rough couple weeks, but got through it. Dad's on chemo now, and he's got a stoma.
He's got the stoma, which is crazy.
Stoma.
Your dad had a tumor the size of like a softball,
fist.
a fist
Yep.
in him, which is crazy.
The very end of his colon. So
yeah.
that talk about stubborn.
Yeah, they couldn't even do a colonoscopy on him
Yeah.
because it was so big, which
Yeah.
is crazy. And then poor Dan, he had to go get one too, which is looking back and now knowing what we know about your family history. I'm glad you went because
Yeah.
Dan had to go and he got his. And they did take out what do you call it?
A polyp.
A polyp.
Yep.
So,
So yeah.
get that stuff checked. And Dan's only 36. So,
Yep.
and if you would have left that until the recommended 45,
It could have been something.
that could have been something pretty bad. Yeah. So I learned that I thought it was 50 was the age. I thought I had because I turned 50 this year. I'm like, oh, I
They've
got
updated it to 45.
yeah, it's 45. That's what my doctor said. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, you're actually behind. I'm like, oh, okay.
So Stacy's up next.
I'm up next at like 3 weeks, I think, something like that away.
Yeah. So if you're interested in getting a very expensive photo shoot with, not the best photos, let me tell you, you get a good nap out of it. So
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to it at all, but it seems responsible. I think.
Yeah.
I don't have a history. It's kind of funny when Dan got his, he was like, "Oh, do you have a history?" And Dan's like, "No." And then literally like a couple weeks after
Yeah.
yours, we found out about your dad. We're like, "Oh, changed the mind on
Oh
that
yeah.
one."
And then I find out that my great grandpa died of colon cancer, which it's like, okay, that would have been nice to know, guys.
It would have been good to know. Yeah.
So sometimes you find out when things kind of come up. So
Yep. So now every 3 years, Dan gets to go
get a nice nap.
get a nice nap.
The nap's great.
You did good. I think you got some Jello out of it.
Yeah. You get a fast for a day, basically. So
Yep, all the clear food you can stand. Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to it.
But-
Hopefully mine goes well because I think I have a Las Vegas trip literally like the day after. So let's hope that goes okay.
yeah, that'll be fun for you. So
Yeah, I'm super excited. Can't you tell?
yeah.
Yay. I'm
But,
getting the photos though. I want the photos. I don't care
So
how-
like 480 by
yeah,
320 or
they're
360?
not great. I thought the cameras were better than what they
It's like, come on,
present.
guys.
And it's like,
I'm paying how much?
yeah, you
Paying
pay
like, was it like $5,000? It
It was
feels
a
like
lot.
three grand for a
super lot.
photo shoot, and you get these
Yeah.
shit photos.
Yeah, not great. Hopefully mine's more covered. I'm hoping mine's like a you're old and
Yeah,
we'll pay for it kind of deal with the insurance. We'll see.
yeah.
But yeah, I definitely want we'll put them up in the lab. You guys.
Yeah, of course.
This is the inside of Dan and Stacy's.
Can you do
ass.
film? Can you do film photos? Be a much bigger camera, I will say.
Kind of amazing. I kind of want the pill. You heard that pill that you can swallow and it takes a picture all the way through, like as it's going
Yeah.
through, which is kind of crazy because it has to have like light on it and stuff, and like it's not that big. It's kind of impressive. I mean, that the horrificness of like the last frames of the camera coming
Yeah,
out.
gross. Gross, gross, gross.
But that's kind of a cool camera. I almost like to get a hold of one of those. We should look into those more because I'm kind of curious, like just how that thing is. I know they have spy cams, but it's like it's small, and it has to have like a lot of light on it, and just so I can see what's going on down there. And I'm kind of curious
Yeah.
how they work.
I don't know. It's beyond me. I know that. But I suppose it is photography.
It is photography. Absolutely. It's
But
in the body
PSA.
photography. I mean, that's something that wasn't possible years ago. That's possible
PSA,
now.
go get checked.
But yes,
So,
if you're of age or if you have, in Dan's case, some troubling symptoms,
Yep.
it's not a bad idea to go in and get things looked at. It's nice to, I know health insurance and health stuff's expensive.
otherwise, you'll be saying
Oh no! Oh no!
down the road. So make sure you
No.
get checked.
I know. Do you have a lot of effects there on your thing? Or is that just that's the one you
There's a
get?
couple. I mean, there's like the clapping, and then you got like,
Did you put these
pretty
in
good.
yourself?
no, just the oh no.
Just
There's
the
like
oh no.
this one. It's pretty great.
It's
So
pretty
the
funny.
podcasts are going to have effects now. So now they'll be,
You thought our listenership was low before.
they're going to be waiting for what effect Dan has come up with for the next podcast. That'll be part
Is
of
that it?
Yeah.
They're really excited.
I need to get a
about it.
shutter click. You know,
Yeah,
that'd be a good one.
good one.
Yeah, there's other ones.
What?
Yeah, man.
Oh man, it feels very 90s in here right now with
A little
that.
bit. Yeah.
That's like
Ta-da.
that's familiar.
I don't know. But
Game show.
yeah. But what can I say?
Oh, I don't know.
It's the
Damn.
little things in life.
It's good. You know what? You're getting that all worked out there before we have an actual guest.
Yeah.
And getting it out of your system. You feel
Yep.
okay. That'll be good.
Yep.
Our next guest that we're having is going to be a repeat guest because every once in a while we want to follow up with people and people are doing stuff. But especially with our friend Dave. So not Dave Tabor. We love you, Dave. We'll have you on again soon, I'm sure. But not the other Dave. We've had a lot of Daves. Our third Dave, our Dave Venencia. We're going to have him on in the next one because Dave has been busy.
Yeah,
Really
he's
busy.
been really busy.
Really
He's
busy.
we've mentioned about his camera that he has, this giant camera, and I'm excited to talk a little bit more with him. So he's coming
Mhm.
through on Thursday this
Thursday.
week.
Yeah.
So we're gonna snag him and go to Stacy's opening because she's got an opening.
Yeah,
this
we planned that,
Thursday.
and then I didn't realize the opening was like. I'm like, hey Dave, you mind if we go
Yeah.
do an opening real quick?
So we'll hit that really quick, and then we'll have Dave on to talk about his giant camera and dialing in color. He's got it dialed in now for
Yeah, he
all the
does.
shots that I've seen.
Oh,
I'm just like, how'd you get it? Like those prints just look amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
so we're super excited to talk to him. He finally is settling in because I think the last time we talked to him, he had just moved up to Salt Lake City. 'Cause
Yeah.
he was a Phoenix guy, and then he left.
Yeah, he's done a lot of work on this house up there and got settled in there, and he's actually coming through the valley. So
Yeah, his brother still lives here, right?
Yep.
The house he used to live in.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's coming through. So
he's-
that'll be good. We'll have him on again.
yeah,
And if you listened to the podcast before with Dave, Dave's great to talk to. So
yeah,
lots of good info. So if you're really interested, especially in this direct, what is it?
direct instant positive.
Instant positive color reversal.
Yeah,
Is what he's really been kind of up to recently. And if you've ever tried to do it or looked into people doing it, it's sort of a new thing. People weren't really doing it as of, I don't know, not that long ago. And finally started seeing some people do it. I saw Cameron Dactyl do it maybe like 5 years ago or so.
yeah.
And then before that, I was like, wait, what? I'm like,
Well, now there's this guy who does the processing, so it's kind of funny because it's they have this giant camera that they 3D printed, and they have a giant roll of paper.
yes, that's crazy.
And I'm just like,
yeah,
you didn't invent something new. It exists, but the camera, I guess, in a way, you're shooting directly to the positive paper.
yeah, and making a whole they basically made a whole new format of like camera and film.
I suppose.
No, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty neat. It would be fun to shoot that, but I could only imagine like the struggle of getting your exposure just right. I know that has been a huge challenge for them. So
yeah, for sure, lighting's a big deal too. So
yeah,
I'm excited to pick Dave's brain a little bit on the process, especially the filtering with it, because that's like, I think we did it a little bit. We tried, we couldn't quite nail it. We
didn't have the lighting right.
We got some images. I think it takes a good amount of light too.
Yeah.
So that'd be kind of cool to do. We talked about for like our booth or something, to be able to do color would be amazing. But I don't know with the throughput, how we do it, because we can get out at a big event in a day. We can get like close to 100.
Yeah, we're shooting
absolutely crazy. We go really fast on our direct positive.
Well,
portraits.
technically, we'd be able to go faster with this.
In theory.
Because, well, maybe, because there's an extra step in there.
There's the drawing's different because the paper isn't fiber paper. And then when we do our booth, we're doing fiber paper, and it's a bit of a challenge to like rinse that appropriately and get it like,
Yeah.
But this is RC, so.
Yeah, RC color direct positive.
Yeah, you can do that.
Be pretty rad. So
we'll see. We're gonna do the booth again. We sort of took a stop on the booth just because it took a lot out of us. We're only
the last one,
people.
Stacy ended up getting sick at.
Oh my god, I got so sick.
Yep.
Yeah, the morning of, I was like, I don't feel great. I was like, I don't know, I don't feel so good. And then we set up the booth and we got everything ready, and then we were maybe like an hour into the day, and I was like,
yeah,
something's up.
Yeah, Stacy
with every minute that gained, I just got sicker and sicker.
Was that COVID?
No, I didn't have COVID. I think it was the flu.
Yeah,
I'm 99% it was flu, but I ended up literally getting so sick that I was told Dan, because I couldn't even help like take it down. At that point, you can't really take it down during the event.
Yeah.
So we were sort of stuck having everything there. So it was either just close it down, or Dan just runs the booth by himself and I go somewhere else. So we opted to do that, and Dan managed to like handle it on his own while I was in the car, literally like dying for hours.
not worth it that day, unfortunately, but Dan
had to break everything down himself too and get it in the car. I was like a useless lump.
Yeah, I
was just so sick. But yeah, that was the last time, and that was a while ago. The booth's just a lot of work. It's like a tremendous amount of work, and it really works. It works well when we're both doing it because we work really good together. We're like, I don't know, we're just good at that. We both sort of know our place. So we're taking a bit of a break on the booth, doing the booth as much as we were before, just because it takes a lot out of us and all the equipment that you got to cart and just setting up, and you got to have electric, and like you're worrying about lighting the whole time, and then the chems and the liquids, and like, you know, you got to bring rinse water and take it all back out with you. And like, it's just a weird amount of equipment. Whenever we do the photo booth, our car is basically Tetrised as hard as you can get. My Crosstrek is like, you couldn't put like one more thing in the car when we're like set up for the booth, which is kind of crazy. But we're going to do the Terror Trader event, which we always love, the Gathering of the Ghouls, which reminds me we have to pay for that.
Yeah.
But we've been accepted to that. They're actually having it in a new spot that I now forget where it is. I feel bad about that.
Is that Rawhide? Or not Rawhide, it's
something like that. It's on an Indian thing. That sounds familiar. That sounds right. I have, honestly, I don't remember. We'll announce it again. It's not until when is it? October?
Not until
August.
Was it August?
I think it's August.
That might be an issue because we're going on a trip.
Well, I think we double checked the date. I think we were okay on the date because that was my initial thing. Yeah, we're gonna go away. But that should be fun. We haven't done it in so long. That event's kind of worth it. It's like a very busy event, and it's a horror con, and there's just like a tremendous turnout that goes to that. And the crowd's just amazing. The people that we see during the day is super, super cool. So that's always an exciting one to do. So I'm excited to do that one.
Yeah, that one's going to be at Rawhide Event Center. And that's actually September 20th and 21st. So
okay, we'll be back.
We'll be back from our trip.
Okay, that's good. We have plenty of time to get ready. Yeah, so we're going to go at the end of summer. We're going to go to Kodak. We're going to go to Rochester, which I'm stoked about. I'm a little scared about the gift shop.
Yeah, it's going to be trouble.
I feel like their gift shop is going to be everything I want, because I can't even imagine. Like, I don't know if anyone's been there, like, let me know if it's awesome or not. But I feel like the Kodak gift shop's probably rad. And we're going to get in trouble. We're already saving money for this trip. We're taking a 2-weeker, which we never have done. So we're going to go up there and then through the Finger Lakes and the Hudson Valley. We get to go through like Sleepy Hollow and through Woodstock and Bethel, and just some really cool places. Dia Beacon, which is like, if you've never been out there, it's like super great for modern art. It's like one of the best modern art museums we have here in the country. But yeah, we get to go to Kodak for an entire day. We're going to stay up in Rochester, which is really cool.
Neat.
Yeah. I think we're going to see Niagara Falls. We were going to go to Canada, but Dan doesn't have his passport. But then also with how things are, I don't know if I want to go through a border thing. So we may see it, just because we're not going to stay like overnight or anything. We're just going to go and kind of like just look at the falls. I've been there years ago. It's been a while. Dan hasn't been up there, but if anyone's ever been up there, as you know, the Canadian side is way nicer. But that's okay. I ain't scared.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Dan wants to get some buffalo wings up in Buffalo.
Yeah. Anchor Bar, I guess, is the name of the place.
Oh, is that the original?
Yeah, I looked it up.
There? Yeah. And I want to go to, you can go to, on the way, our trip, we're going to pass the oldest bar restaurant in New Jersey, which is also coincidentally one of the oldest ones in the US. It's from the 1700s. I've been there before. It's really cool. It still looks very colonial in there. So we'll stop in through there, but I'm excited to take photos. There's a lot of stuff that on that trip that I'm super stoked about actual photography for. But we have to patiently wait till the end of summer, which is actually probably great, because here it's going to be super duper hot and we're going to want to kill ourselves because we're going to be like just done with summer.
127 days from now, I think it was.
It's something like that. It's a while from now. So
yeah,
we'll go and have fun. It'll be lovely. We're not telling you exactly when we're going because, that's not safe. Secrets. But end of summer. We're having a house sitter. We're going to be gone too long and we have critters.
Yeah.
So we have to have somebody here. But it'll be fun. I'm excited. Super excited. Dan's going to shoot some photos, which he's vowed to do. He hasn't actually been shooting very much, but he vowed to start shooting again.
Yeah, I should probably do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Life's like that. I mean, even people we know that shoot like all the time, they absolutely go through lulls where they're shooting and then they're absolutely not shooting for like a really long time, and then they just pop back into it. And I think it's everybody. I mean, life is what it is. You're not always inspired to do things. You know, there's other stuff that like kind of takes you away. It makes sense.
Yeah, I'm excited to get back into it. I want to do more paper negatives and more alt process, and I have a project I have that I'm going to be working on here pretty soon. Now that we've kind of sorted things out, and a little bit of catch up over the summer, but it'll be there'll be some time for me to get those things sorted out. So, yeah,
should be good. So thank you guys for listening to all that is Stacy and Dan. What's going on in our lives. But we figured we get you guys caught up instead of just jumping right into a new season, I guess you can call it. We don't have like a set season, but we definitely are going to have some regular episodes coming your way. So we'll definitely have that.
And we got some really exciting news to share down the road, but we're not going to do it just yet. There's a few people who know, but
there's a few people that know, but yeah, we have some
save that for another episode.
Yes, the fall. Let's just put it this way: the fall is going to be super exciting for us and the community for a lot of reasons. So yeah, we're super duper stoked. So we're going to be doing some stuff, and once we sort of solidify a few things, we'll start announcing what's going on.
Yeah.
Yep. Just trying to kind of keep things going best we can for you guys.
Yep.
Keep things going. We'll keep going with the podcast. Keep getting good guests on. If you listen to the podcast, reach out to us. Let us know that you listen. I know we definitely know we have listenership, but it's weird when we get like stats back from. They're not the most clear numbers because we're over a few different platforms, so we never have like a real super clear number of like who's actually listening to us. So if you do, like when you see us post up on Instagram, you know, drop us a line or send us an Instagram message and let us know that you're listening to the show. Let us know if you love it, if you hate it.
Yep.
You know, you just want to pick on us for our voices. I don't care, whatever. But it's kind of nice just to know someone's on the other end there listening. We know there's definitely a few of you because it was kind of funny at Grand Avenue Fest and the zine release. Like, oh, I listen to your podcast, and I totally forget that I do a podcast sometimes, just because of how spotty we are.
Like, oh yeah.
I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, well, thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. We really do. You know, we're having fun with this, and we like learning what other people are doing and really kind of getting to know other artists, and that's part of what we're gonna start turning to a little bit too. We're going to start like getting more creatives on, and it might not be photography related. We may be shaking it up a little bit and having some just general creative people, artists, things like that, you know, photography adjacent, folks on, which is super fun. We're sort of branching out, and because we found, and I think you've gotten the gist of this, we're not like about the gear or anything really. We're about the person. We're about the people. We're learning about creative people and what they're doing in their process and what gets them going. And so that kind of fits, just generally speaking, with us being able to kind of talk to people from all over the place. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and I'm actually working on building out the website for that too. So the podcast will have its own cleaner, much nicer page online with a little bit more organization. So it's a little easier to flip through and see different episodes. I don't even know how many episodes we're at now. And we're
I don't know either. I
in
feel like
the 30s.
It's in the 30s.
40s?
Yeah, 30s-ish feels right. Like, yeah.
It doesn't seem
maybe
like a lot, but
mid-30s.
for our podcast, we go pretty long. So
Yeah. We're long form. Generally speaking, we're like an hour to 2 hours, somewhere in there usually. Hour and a half, I think, is our average. But
don't want to forget, we did have another awesome thing that happened recently in the lab.
what happened?
Do you remember?
The PBS thing?
No.
Oh.
What was the other thing?
What was the other thing?
KJ.
That was the PBS thing.
Did you mention that?
I didn't.
No, you didn't.
No, I said my PBS thing with NPR.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, but KJ.
KJ Herb.
Yeah.
She was she's in a documentary that's getting filmed right now with Frank Desari?
Something like
I
that.
don't remember his last
We're
name.
bad with names.
But
sorry, Frank, if you happen to be listening.
But yeah.
But yeah, he's doing a documentary called Frames in his shop. PBS is apparently okay with it and greenlighted it. And he's working on that, and he's talking to young people, so new graduates, young folks that are pursuing analog photography as a career. So people that are pretty serious, and we hooked him up with KJ. We also hooked him up with Everett, but I think he's
Yeah.
having a hard time linking up with Everett because Everett is just,
So elusive.
he's a very elusive guy. He's very busy, but hopefully they get to link up as well because he's trying to get basically 4 corners of the U.S. So he has somebody from Florida, and then I think it was Oregon or Washington,
Yeah.
and then KJ's the Southwest one, and then Everett hopefully will be the New York one. He's a little bi-coastal right now though too. He's like New York and L.A. Him and his
Yeah.
brother kind of switch back and forth there. But that was fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he got that. So we'll let you know if Frames ever comes to see the light of day and everything. But hopefully the lab will be in there a little bit because they spent like a few days.
It was like 2 days in
recording.
the lab recording, doing color printing. So
Yeah, and they did a little bit of the shooting in the lab.
Yep.
So we'll see, how these things get cut.
Yeah.
So,
hopefully we get a little bit of airtime in there. That's cool.
yeah, there'll be a little smidgen in there. So that was super cool to see that.
But yeah, I'm sure we'll share once we find out when that comes out. So
Yeah, absolutely. And good on KJ. KJ's really pushing. She's doing some great work. She had some nice pieces in the AZ Photo Alliance show. If you're local and you're a photographer, doesn't even have to be analog. But AZ Photo Alliance is a really great group to join up with. They have events going on all the time, and they have a lot of knowledge in that group.
Skew's a little bit older, but
It's older. They've been around a while, and it was started by some people
got-
that were established, and it just happens to be an older crowd.
they've got some younger members though.
They've absolutely pulled in some younger members, so it's not quite as older as it was. But those are people that you want to tap because a lot of them, that was career for them. Like photography was
Yeah.
their career. They seriously know what they're doing. Some amazing talent. And if you took the whole group of like AZ Photo Alliance and put all the experience together in years, crazy.
Yeah.
crazy. So we're encouraging more people to sign up with that group. It's really easy. You just go to their website and sign up, and then you can see like their calendar and all the stuff that they have
Yeah.
that's going on. And they try to be pretty regular about content, and really good content too. They do like studio tours,
Yeah.
portfolio reviews. They're doing a thing right now where they're doing like an auction to pay for a better tombstone for a photographer, like back from 1800s. Like they've done that before. So they do some really, really cool stuff. So
Yeah.
it's exciting to be a part of that group. I'm glad we got to actually spend a little time with them because we normally are so busy we don't get to go to a lot of the events that they host. They did one it was actually really great. They had the Avedon show that's at the Phoenix Art Museum, and they had a hell of a turnout that came out to that. I think they were really surprised by how many people came out. But the crowd was huge, and the girl that works down in Tucson, she came up and she was like the curator, and she got to talk about the Avedon pieces, which was really cool. So
Yeah.
but yeah, highly recommended to join up with that group if you're just looking for some social stuff to do, and hopefully we can do some more social stuff as well. We're
Yeah.
definitely looking end of summer. We're gonna have a lot of stuff on our plate coming up,
Yep.
which is gonna be super cool.
Zine, gallery stuff, a lot of good stuff
Yep.
actually. So
Yep.
we're excited for that. So, but yeah, thank you guys for listening. Definitely, if you can, support us on Patreon. We still have that running right now, and your support and a little bit of money here and there. You can donate $5 a month to help support us, which goes a long way.
Believe it or not, that little amount, we're poor.
Yeah. So we do a lot for the community. We're doing the workshops, and the workshops help pay to keep the space running.
Yep, they pay the
And,
rent.
We definitely do not pull money from the lab as a profit. So it helps maintain itself. So all the people that we have on Patreon that have been supporting for years,
Yeah.
thank you so much. We've got people on there that have been supporting for the past
Yeah.
since we started the
Which is
Patreon, which has been
amazing.
like 6-7 years
Yeah.
now.
And that little amount, if it's even $5 a month, that's like keeping literally like the web servers and stuff like that, like running. That stuff is all
Helps
built.
us maintain the Patreon, or excuse me, helps me maintain the podcast, the website that we have, a lot of the other parts and pieces that help keep PFR going. So if you can, please donate on patreon.com, and you can look us up. It's patreon.com/PHX Film Revival. Otherwise, if you can't, no worries. Tell your friends, let them know as well, and keep shooting film.
Yeah. Share us with your friends. That helps us a lot, actually.
Yeah, tell people to listen to our podcast.
Yeah, be like, these guys suck, but listen to them anyway.
We don't suck. A little bit.
I hope not. I don't even know. We don't get enough feedback.
Oh no!
Oh no!
We're gonna keep doing it. I don't care if
Yep.
we suck or not.
Yeah. Oh no!
Doesn't matter. We're still doing it. What's that?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
You need the other sound bit. I'm not leaving.
Not leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving.
We ain't leaving.
Time's up.
Okay,
So
it's over. We're
Yep.
done.
time to go. So thank you guys again. Appreciate you listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
The show